Hi everyone, I'm here to tell you about my newest online course called Own Your Value and Earn Your Worth. For the past 14 years, I have worked with creatives, healers and entrepreneurs on owning their value around their gifts and the gifts that they bring into the world, and also aligning their abundance with that value. We've heard of starving artist, starving healer. They're two very common archetypes, and there are reasons they exist in our society, and there are reasons that they exist inside us, in our own psyche. And yet I've seen through working with people time and time again that if we can just push past some of those resistances or some of those fears and trust that what we will receive on the other side is very abundant, whether that shows up in the form of more finance, wonderful experiences, connections, or just a new sense of identity. What I'm going to do in each module is step by step take you through both the energetics required to own your value and earn your worth, but also practical, detailed, step-by-step how-to guide for those of you who aren't quite sure yet how to bring more of what you can offer into the online world or even into the everyday real world. You can take the course at your own pace and you will have lifetime access, so you can revisit time and time again. There are videos, audios and worksheets, and you will find as you go through this journey that you will step into a new level of self-value, self-worth, and perhaps most importantly, honoring yourself in the work that you're doing in the world and the work that you do as a creator every day. And much like my live events, I'm very big on community. You know, we are the medicine that we need, and there will be people taking this course who you need to connect with. So we have a private Facebook group and a forum inside the course so that you can connect with each other, share the learning, share the journey, share the growth. It fills me with great joy to work with people on expanding their work and their experience of their work in the world. So I'm really looking forward to leading this first ever course from me on this topic. I hope you can join us. See you in there. Hi everybody, welcome to the energy update for September 2018. I'm Lee, and every month I take the energy pulse to try and translate what's going on energetically for all of us into more human or practical terms. And boy oh boy, have we just come through a whopper period on the planet between May, June, July and August. So firstly, hi to those of you watching this on Facebook Live, and equally to those of you watching this on my YouTube channel. Let's take a look at what's been going on, because the last 4 months has been an incredible shakedown, and everybody is talking about it. Depending on where you are and what's gone on in this last 4 months, you have either felt incredibly rearranged by life and the universe. You may have gone through some real dark nights of the soul. This has been a big theme for many people in the last 4 months. And a dark night of the soul is that period of time where that which you thought was true, whether it's friendships, relationships in business, the place you thought you wanted to move to, suddenly changes. Sudden changes, sudden transformations in your life, sudden deaths of things that you thought were very alive and very real to you, which can cause you to go into a dark night of the soul. Depression, disbelief, wondering why you're here, what it's all about. In the moment of going through these dark nights of the soul, they feel incredibly uncomfortable. At the other end of the scale, they can feel hellish and like you don't want to go on. But the reason that they come along for all of us is to create an almighty transformation in our life and to set us up for the next chapter. The reason I wanted to go into detail on that with all of you, even those of you who don't feel you've been through a particular dark night of the soul recently, is that that is exactly what we as a world have gone through in this last 4 months. Now you might say, well, hang on a second, the last 3-4 years have been very much like that. But This last 4 months has been an internal rearrangement process for many. So it will have seen many of you going through real extremes, like a high moment of clarity and, oh my God, I'm having an epiphany and I know what everything in the universe means and I know who I am and what my purpose is. And minutes, hours, or days later, that can crash and go to the other extreme. The part of you that feels afraid, the part of you that feels unsure of what you're doing. Don't panic if I'm describing your circumstances, because that's what a lot of people have been going through. And it's really to set us up for not only the next few years, but this period we're now coming into, September through December 2018, where new birth, new chapter, new energy is going to be very evident and very actionable for a great many people. So, over the last 4 months, you've been having a bit of a clear out or a bit of a detox. And the thing I would say to those of you who are sitting here listening going, well, hang on a second, I feel like I've been detoxing for 3 or 4 years. You really need to now think about what you want on the planet and what you want to experience and who you want to be. And for those of you who go, well, I want the planet to be more peaceful, or I don't want the planet to have as much suffering, I hear you and I get it, but you can't live that way alone. That is always going to be an energetic truth for those who are healers or people who are wanting to see more consciousness happen. But if you only lean into that, it gets very depressing, very depleting. And the problem with that is you lose your life force. And our life force is what's going to take to transform these coming years and decades. And that's what we're here for. That's what we signed up for. We're here to experience the change on the planet and be part of the change on the planet. But you have to remember that we also do that through following our own sense of purpose, that who we came here to be and what we came here to do is exactly what the planet is going to need, as well as the part of you that wants to heal, fix, save. So, really important distinction to make, because a lot of healers at the moment are going through a bit of a crisis or a bit of a dark night of the soul. And equally, there are many people wanting to get into healing and consciousness work. So, we'll come to more of that later. But there is this changing of the guard. So a lot of people are wanting to let go of what they were doing in the world and start something new. And this is a very 2018 theme. It's going round. But what you will see is in the September to December period coming up, a lot of people are going to start to take steps toward the life that they wanted in a bigger way. I know that for many sensitives and light worker, healer, people who identify with those words, it can be a very intense thing to watch this battle between dark and light that goes on the planet. But what's really important to remember is you creating a moment of light or peace for yourself in your daily life has an energetic effect for everybody. And so sometimes there is this idea that, well, I'm being selfish if I'm not being useful to people. And the reason I bring this up is a lot of the people that I work with and meet and come across, there are a large number of you that have kind of spent the summer going, oh my God, I can't bring myself to it. I don't know what to do. I just need to step back. That's because you've been in this very internal rearrangement process, and that's a great place to be. It's exactly where you need to be. It's going to teach you more about what you need on a daily basis for balance in your life, so that you can bring more of yourself and more of the balance energy that you hold in whatever you do. So whether you're, a parent, a doctor, a teacher, a healer, whatever your role is in the world, the energy that you bring through your role is what people are going to remember and be affected by. And God knows we need more examples of loving humanity on the planet right now. If nothing else, some of our most major figures on the planet right now are telling us all, oh wow, we need to counterbalance some of this. And counterbalancing it is what is required. So for those of you who are feeling a bit faint of heart, it's okay. Take the time to repair yourself, take the time to recover, but know you're going to get back up on your feet and you're going to find what it is that you feel you want to do here on this planet, whether that's a career or a work thing, or whether that's just you going, I think I need to take the next 6 to 12 months just being peaceful and hanging out in my garden and doing very simple things and keeping my work life very simple and keeping my social life very simple. Do whatever it takes to reset yourself, because the detox and the rewiring process that has been going on recently is quite relentless and takes a lot more energy than any of us realize. We try and keep going with our lives and doing the things that we're doing, and we don't always understand or recognize the speed effect that has been going on recently and the overstimulation that so many of us are in. So, a nice breath for all of us. On any given day, at any moment you feel you need it, to just go, I'm here, I'm alive, it's okay. In this moment, all that's needed is this moment. But I wouldn't be here with my messages if there weren't a group of you that were trying to move things forward in the world. And what I will tell you is that 2019, 2020, of course, this innovation energy that many of you are feeling and wanting to bring is going to continue. But September to December is a real foundation period for many people. It's you beginning to put a foundation into your life. And often we see people do this, kind of February through April, May. That's a fairly popular time on Earth to get into a collective wave around creating a new foundation. People get through the new year, New Year's resolutions, but it's interesting. This year, the messages I was getting this morning is there is going to be a lot of new foundational energy happening between September and December. So last but not least, know that many of us, and I would say the whole planet, is going through a fairly major identity shift. And when you are going through an identity shift, things do feel disorienting for a while. You don't quite know who you are or how to be at moments on any given day or week. And that's okay, because we don't get to shed an old skin and create a new one without shedding an old skin. But especially for the sensitives who tend to track everything and track energy, it can be a little alarming when you feel a part of you changing or going or moving out. So remember that we are here to continually, to the best of our ability, ground the light on the planet, while we also let go of our own personal shadows and work on the collective shadow. But grounding the light is going to be a place that more and more of us can step into in the coming years. So for those of you watching this who are feeling connected to what I'm saying about laying foundations between September and December, you're going to have an opportunity to get really, really clear, incredible clarity about what you would like your next year or two to look like, whether that's a way of being or a way of doing, or ideally both. So really give yourself some time in the next few weeks to sit with the feeling of what's coming in, even if while you're in this sense of identity shift, you can't help but notice what is leaving or what you feel you're losing. Because we can't bring in the new skin without shedding the old. And it's okay, it's part of the process. But what I will say is there is an amplification of that transformation right now at a level that few of us have ever experienced, at a speed that few of us have ever experienced. So even for those of you who haven't really left the house or done much the last couple of months, you might be sitting there going, oh my God, I feel so different and I don't quite know what to do with myself. You will. Always start with the simple. Is it go and make a soup, go and have a shower, go and have a walk, play with your dog, whatever it is. Just give yourself simple opportunities to rediscover this new you. And for those of you who've already done that and you are raring to go, September to December, foundations. So connections with people who are going to help you and sync up with you in what you're doing, clarity about where you want to go, things you want to try, letting yourself walk into a new phase of life, because many of you have felt over the last 4 or 5 months you're just spinning your wheels. August really came in with a blast of wind to change that, and now September onwards, it's the beginning of a whole new chapter. So Thank you for tuning in, everybody. For those of you who would like to go deeper with me and my work, I have a members community called The Portal. Every month I do a live broadcast, there is a Qigong sequence, a whole array of tools to support you in your balance. And this month we have a brand new MP3. It's called Your Beautiful Future, The Courage to Leap, and it's not surprisingly very in time with these themes because it was recorded just a few weeks ago. So that's free to Portal members, or it's in my MP3 store. We'll play a clip of that in just a minute, but I have two big announcements for you before we finish. Number one, my new online course is coming out on September the 24th. It is called Own Your Value and Earn Your Worth. And last but not least, Costa Rica is going to be the place for my Soul Magic 2018 retreat, which is happening at the end of October, so in just under 2 months. It's the final transformation retreat I am going to do live and in person for a year. I've decided next year to not do energy masteries. I'm going to take a hiatus from running live in-person transformation events. I love doing them, but I know I need to do something slightly different next year. So if you want an experience that will set up your whole 2019, come join us for a week of transformation in magical Costa Rica. And there's a link underneath this video that you can check out to see that too. And for now, we'll leave you with a short excerpt from Your Beautiful Future, The Courage to Leap, which is this month's MP3. Big love, everyone. Thanks for tuning in and have a great month.
There is a reason you can't leave the job you have wanted to leave for 3 years. It is not just you not having the courage, it is you not yet being energetically different enough to walk away from the lessons and the experiences that you were getting in that job. And let us help you out here. For, again, those of you who want to kick yourselves will hear that and blame yourself. What am I not getting? Well, remember, you can't see everything in any situation. So even those of you who are sitting there going, oh, I know it's because I still haven't learned to stand up to my boss. We might argue with you there and say, no, you will never be able to stand up to her, because the learning lesson there is it is an unmovable situation. No, the reason you are still in the job is because in a month somebody is going to come into that building as a new employee just before you give in your notice, and you need to meet that person. The universe is always orchestrating many steps ahead of you because of you. Meaning, there are things that you are doing today that are lining up your future 1 year, 4 years, 10 years from now, that you cannot see, nor would you want to. But every choice has a ripple effect on your future path. And your future paths right now are moving and twisting faster than ever before, because collective energy is moving and twisting faster than any of you have experienced in your lifetime.
For I know that love is a wheel